Hello there, this is Jenny McGarvey, and I am happy to share with you today how I planned in my Inkwell Press Classic Planner. As you can see here, I am sharing with you last week's layout, which was a blue and orange theme. Side note, I had created a plan with me video, and then it got deleted. So, well, that's actually not what happened, but it's the short end of the story, so I don't have one to share with you from that particular week. However, I do have the next one. So here we go. I have not switched over yet. I'm busy in gathering my materials. I'll remove my clip so we can get down to business and then scroll into March, which is just crazy. As you can see here, if you've watched any of my videos before, I pre-plan on Post-it notes and then just remove them for the ease of planning in the actual weeks. I practice different handwriting styles on the Post-it notes, so you're like, oh my gosh, that totally doesn't look like your handwriting. No, my handwriting in my planner is my handwriting. The handwriting on the Post-it notes is just what I allow myself to try different script, different messy, those types of things, because I always write in a capital block letters, so I just want to allow myself a little bit of freedom to try new styles. And so the Post-its seem like the perfect way since they just go in the trash. I like to add a little bit of thin washi to separate the top and the bottom sections that I use instead of having one long column. You'll see here I'm going to use this yellow washi to divide it into two sections instead of one big section. Below is my to-do list. Above is the appointments and the different places we need to go, people we need to see, that type of thing. I use a craft knife to cut it in my planner. However, you don't have to use that. Use a gift card, use any other edge that you can just tear the washi. It'll totally work. I sit at my scrapbook table to plan, so I have a craft knife right there, and that works great for me. I highly, highly recommend using what works for you and what you have handy. Don't use any fancy things or go out and buy a craft knife, because I do. So now I have my Monday through Thursday divided. I don't divide my weekends because A, if I had time, I wouldn't want to do a whole bunch of to-dos, and B, I don't have time. Saturdays are always insanely busy with different kids' activities, so I couldn't get anything done even if I had the time, or the desire, I'm sorry. So that's why you'll see that I did not do that on Saturday and Sunday. However, if I wanted to, obviously, I absolutely could. I've been trying different ways in this planner to sort of use that Sunday space and maybe that lower part of that note space, because I don't usually have that much going on Sundays. And currently I'm using a different thing. I'm sure I'll get somewhere else again in the future. We'll see. Anyway, what I was looking for was those stickers that are the circles, because I wanted to take this Scraptastic Club stamp and stamp the Do It on there. I just for some reason had it in my head that this would make a really cool header for a to-do list, and so it turned out that it really was a cool header for the to-do list. So that's what I just did for Monday. But as I've done in the weeks past, I like to change things up. I like to make them different. I don't want them to all be the same for no good reason, because I absolutely have weeks where I do have them all the same. I keep most of my supplies in the Happy Planner carrying pouch. It is perfect, and as you can see, I quickly reached in and grabbed my little aqua ink, and I'm off. This is a Versa Magic ink. My favorite is a Versa Fine, but the Versa Magic are a close second. Versa Fine is just like angel tears for stamping. It's wonderful. It's super easy to use. Details come out great. And in the Inkwell Press, there is no shadowing, nothing. It's perfect. I can use it all day long. That is actually why I switched to the Inkwell Press, was for the paper quality. There are things that I do not love about this planner. I do not love the lines. I do not love that the notes is on the right side. But I do love the paper. And so that makes a huge difference as a stamper, because I don't want to see the shadowing on the back side. And so this is perfect for me. As you can see, I have out 2 sets of Scraptastic Club stamps, and I'm just going to ink that up and stamp the to-do list for Wednesday. Now, again, like I said, I like to change it up. This to-do stamp that I stamped on Wednesday is probably my most favorite, though I don't know, I really do like that Do It one too. It's just funny to me. But this to-do, it's bold, it's got a great font, it's super simple and classic, and I just really like that a lot. And then the one that I used for Tuesday, it's also fun because it's got the little dots on the sides. It's just not quite as bold. It's a little bit more subdued. So it's really just completely personal preference. Now in that folder right there that I'm reaching into, I keep some of my more oft used stickers. I need to actually weed this out. I've been just sort of stuffing some in there. But that I don't use necessarily in the planning process. They're the ones that I reach for during the week when I need to add something. Now I've decided that the way I stamped on Tuesday was not what I wanted to do. This happens to me all the time. I change my mind or I mess things up, and so I covered it with a little Chrissy Ann Designs half sticker. Works perfect for me. Now on Thursday, my to-do is that Libby and Company Inkables little, I don't even know what you call that, a rectangle or whatever. And those stickers, they are by far like my favorite things in the entire world. Not only do they feel amazing, I swear you really can use any pen on them and they write. And then you can move them, you can do whatever. Now I've pulled out my Scraptastic Club February stickers from the kit, and then also that Trust Your Journey journaling cards. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to check out the Scraptastic Club journaling cards from the This Life Noted kit, but they are amazing, super duper thick, really modern and fun, fresh designs by a dedicated graphic artist. It is awesome. Anyway, this is a couple of stickers on Monday from the Get It Done, oh my gosh, not the Get It Done, the Plan On It kit from Scraptastic Club. And I have a few different ways that I'm really loving using these stickers. I love using these arrows and then having them point to different icon stickers. And I don't know, I've never done it before, maybe last week or something like that, but I just really like the way it looks, and I probably won't do it forever. It won't be something that, in November I'm probably even still doing. But for now, I really think it's super fun. So the good thing about this planner kit is that there are several sheets of stickers. And for example, so I use that arrow, but then I'm also able to use like a little label sticker and then also the Get It Done sticker. So I just have a lot of choices, and that makes me super happy. Sorry about that. So anyway, now that Monday I have the stickers put down for the things that I need to do, I can use my Kira Arena twin pens and write out my little events. This probably was not the best sticker to use, but again, sometimes I get a little ahead of myself and stick those things down without really exactly thinking them through. But you know what? It's okay, because a lot of times I find things that work and don't work that way, so I don't get really too involved in feeling bad about it if it's not exactly what was the right thing. Now, as you can see, I write on the little arrow sticker that points to the baseball, and it just ends up as adorable as I thought. And you'll see that is definitely a theme throughout this particular week, and you won't really see too much of it again until the weekend, but then, oh yeah, it takes over the weekend, that's for sure. Now, if I haven't spoken about the Kira Arena twin pens too much to you, they are a felt tip pen on one end, kind of like a flare, and the other end is a highlighter, and they are lightly scented. It is so fun, and I really love the way that they write. And then you have the highlighter too, which is also fantastic. So I have a package of 18 different colors, and I love them all. So I use them a lot, I reach for them a lot, and I find that it's just a really fun pen to use. Now on Wednesdays I usually have some sort of pencil sticker there. I don't know why I seem to be particularly fond of those. Those are from A Sticky Monster. I do have some Libby and Company ones waiting to be used. I like to use those because that's when my son has late start on Wednesdays, and so it's not like I'd likely to forget, but I like to add that to my planner so someday when I look back on it I don't forget that he started late. I recently got these stickers from Knockout Print Shop, and they match the colors in the Inkwell Press, which is nice because the Inkwell Press sticker colors, or not the sticker colors, I'm sorry, the different accent colors can be a little bit difficult with traditional stickers that are sort of rainbow colored, and so that's why I do like having these. And quite frankly, they match the lines in the planner. I don't like the lines. I'd rather that it was unlined. However, if it has to have lines, I want the little check marks the boxes to line up with the lines, and most stickers do not, and that kind of drives me crazy. So that's what's fantastic about the Knockout Print Shop ones, is the colors are good, they match with the paper, and then also the check boxes line up. Now that Sticky Monster pencil is a glossy sticker, so I need to use a permanent pen. I use my Pilot permanent pen. I like the tip better than I do on the Sharpie, but you know, that's personal preference, and again, exactly what you have. Don't run out and buy that just because I said that that's what I use. You should absolutely use what you have on hand or what you prefer. Kind of like my stamping block. I love the round one, and it's what I reach for most often. However, you don't have to use a round one. You can use whatever you have handy or you picked up wherever, or your favorite one that you've been using for years. Now, I'm a big fan of the hybrid of stamping and stickers, as you can see, and I like to find different ways to make both work. So for example, on Tuesday, I actually only had one place to go, only one thing, which is super unusual for us. Lately it feels like we have like 500. So I'm taking this cute box from Sweet Stamp Shop, and I am stamping, and then inside of that I will put a little basketball, stamp a little basketball from the Sweet Stamp Shop Play Ball stamp set, and then write in the basketball practice that we have in there. Now again, I can't do that every day because usually we have way too many things going on, and so I can't fit more than one or two things inside the box, and then there's not room to stamp other things outside of the box. So there's that. Now, as you can see there, that is from the Happy Planner bag. I keep my often used stamps in one and my less often used stamps in the other. It doesn't mean that I don't like the other ones. It means that I don't use them as often. And so when I want to dig through them, instead of digging through 20 stamp sets, I only have to dig through 10 and know that, oh, okay, Playball is probably in there since I use Playball every single week. But then I have the other ones close at hand too. So this system works really well for me, keeping them separated like that. So there you can see there's the outline with the little ball. And to me, it's just super cute. It adds a little bit of fun, and yet it's completely functional all at the same time. Because for me, this is my really functional planner. I keep my to-do lists, I keep all of our activities, all of that stuff. This is the one that I really definitely refer to. But if I can add some cuteness to the pages while staying super functional, I absolutely will. I enjoy stamping, so adding the stamping to this in a functional way really works for me. Now these are some Simple Stories little icon stickers. I don't use them very often, but today we have a dentist appointment on Monday, and so I figured it would be super cute to add a little tooth icon sticker, especially since I don't get to obviously add those types of things very often. Now, side note, you can see it a little tiny bit at the bottom of the screen. I keep those stickers in a Kaiser Craft little pouch type thing or whatever, and it works out great. They're nice and tidy and all kept together, and I can group them again by usage. Now I'm adding the washi tape to the bottom. This is an Aqua Flamingo from Laura Ballora, and again, as you can see, the week here from the Inkwell Press is kind of an aqua color, which of course I just love, so it's fine with me. And then I'm adding the Aqua Flamingos, so we're going with an aqua and yellow color scheme this week, which is usually how I plan my weeks, is usually by the color scheme. I don't usually have a theme necessarily, so I won't say, oh, this week is going to be witches, and then I make a whole witch themed week. I usually really only stick with the color scheme and go forth, since I don't do a whole lot of decorating that isn't completely functional. Now I use the very bottom row of boxes for meal planning, and then I use that middle row, if applicable, for work tasks that I need to do. So, as you can see there, there's a little thing for ink. I can't think of the word, like a little bottle for ink and a quill stuck in it, and I think that's super cute, and I love to use that for blog posts that I need to put up. And so that's what I stamp right there when I have assignments or blog posts or things of that nature that I need to make sure get done, or that, okay, this is the due date for that. So now I took two Scraptastic Club little icons, and one is the cutlery and one is the word dinner, and then I place them very close together, and then I stamp all along in the bottom boxes those two together. So then that's how I know where what we're having for dinner is. Now obviously I can remember that. I don't have to stamp it, but it's just 10 times cuter if I do. So I do. Now I wipe my stamps with a baby wipe. A lot of companies have their ideas about how you should clean your stamps. Mostly you really don't even have to clean them at all. You can just dab the ink off on a piece of scratch paper and go forth. The way that my brain works, I like to have the ink wiped off, so I just gently wipe the ink off with a baby wipe. I happen to buy the alcohol-free ones, and I actually think that's probably all they sell in terms of baby wipes, but I'm not exactly sure. And then I just go forth like that. But like I said, you don't have to clean them that way. You can clean them any way that feels comfortable for you. You just want to make sure that you don't ruin the stamps or lose them, because oftentimes they can be super small. Now I am using this heart to go along with my to-do list. It's absolutely not necessary. It's completely only functional, but I just really like how these two stamps together look. It makes the to-do, which is super functional and perfunctory, a lot cuter to have that heart there too. So see, look at that. Makes a to-do list so much more fun. Now, I, for some reason, did not stamp Thursday, so that's what I need to do. Now, Thursday and Friday both can be very tricky being so close to the coil, so I make sure if I'm on Thursday, I put the stamp all the way to the right edge of the block, and if I'm stamping on Friday, I put the stamp all the way to the left edge of the block. That way, I can hopefully get the best impression on my stamping. If it's terrible, I'll cover it with a sticker. But if it's just, oh, it's a little bit messed up, then I leave it. It's just part of the thing, and that's okay. You know, I mean, it's not the end of the world. But like I said, if it really bugs me, I just cover it with a sticker. That's okay. Now I'm going to add one bit of decorative stamping to this page, and it is this Smile More Polaroid frame from Sweet Stamp Shop. I absolutely love this stamp. It's one of my favorites ever, and I just don't get to use it very often, and so I didn't have much to write on Wednesday, and I thought, well, let's just go ahead and add this right in the middle of the week. It'll be nice and cheerful, just like this particular week is nice and cheerful with this color scheme. See, look how stinking cute that is, and look how cute the little faces on the hearts are and stuff. So anyway, I'll wipe the excess ink off like I told you that I do with the baby wipe, and then it's right there. There was one little heart that some of the ink didn't get on the paper very well, and that was in the center. Clearly I didn't apply enough pressure, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. I just colored that in with my little marker, and we're going on. Now I'm going to use my Prismacolor colored pencils to color in that frame. You don't have to. You can absolutely leave it blank, or you could use Crayola colored pencils. That's also an option. Or the Prismacolors. I love, love, love how smooth they are. They glide on there. They're good for blending. This package was less than $20. It wasn't a huge expense, so I decided that it was worth it for me for how much enjoyment I would get out of it, and how you can't use Copics or anything like that directly on your planner pages. So I figured this was a good way to get a lot of enjoyment out of it and add some pretty color to my pages. On a side note, I try to color in a circular pattern when there's a big enough area. That helps me blend it and not have as many strokes, like where you can see where you've actually colored. But where I'm coloring in the yellow, that doesn't really actually work because it is such a tiny little detailed area. Now I'm just going to go through and color the hearts both blue, and then I will also do them in a little tiny bit of green to give it a little bit more of an aqua color versus just the straight up light blue color, because that pencil that I'm using is only light blue. I don't have an aqua or a turquoise in that package of pencils, which is a total bummer because it's a color I would actually probably use a lot. But so what I do is I just use the light blue, and then I add a little tiny bit of green, and it works out okay. Now I did use one heart, leave one heart empty because I'm going to color it orange just to make it stand out a tiny bit or whatever. Not necessary. Could have totally colored them all the same color. It's not rocket science. It's just color and some hearts on a planner page. But as you can see, I've added the green to the blue hearts just to give it a little tiny look of being a little bit more turquoise than just straight up light blue. So now see how fun that made this page, and it was just one stamp because I'm not, like I already said, I really just don't have time to add all of the decorations based on the fact that we have a ton going on and I use most of my space. Now this little sticker is also from Knockout Print Shop on Etsy, and I don't know what it was that I was drawn to it. I like that it has room for a little icon, and then you can also write what you need to write. It's fun to be able to add decorative elements when possible. So I use a teeny tiny little basketball icon and will write on top of the sticker. Of course, then I realize that I don't want that on Wednesday, and I will need to move it to Thursday. But it's okay, no bother. It comes right up, luckily, since I had just stuck it down. I've never tried to move these once they've been stuck down longer term, so I don't know how movable they are, but right away this one moved just fine. So again, like I've said, I never claim to be any type of perfectionist. I screw up all the time. So I like being able to move things around to help myself out. I'm adding a second layer of Laura Ballora washi tape because I don't need to use those two boxes for any work-related items. And the washi adds a fun decorative element to the page. And like I have made it abundantly clear throughout this video, since I don't purposely decorate, you know, having a couple of little strips of cute washi is absolutely welcomed. And then it also really helps solidify the overall color scheme for the week. I mean, you definitely get by looking at this that, you know, we're working with a turquoise and yellow or an aqua and yellow color scheme this week. And I like it. I think it's super cute, so I'm very happy with it. So then when I look at the first half of the week, I feel cheerful, I feel bright, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and that's exactly how I feel like it should be when I look at my planner. It doesn't matter if anybody else is really into it, it just has to matter that I really like my planner and that it helps me feel motivated and able to get things done and that I understand it and my setup works for me. Now I sometimes like to use these Studio L2E stamps for appointments. They are very clean, very no frills, which is what I like about them. It has room for a tiny little icon in the center, which is also what I really like about them, but it's not decorative in any way, and not that it matters that it's decorative, it's just that it's no frills. It's very simple, it's clean, it's linear, and that is how I prefer things to look, and so that's why it really melds well with my style. So then once I have that done, I can then add just my tiny little bit that I need to write. I have sort of a coding system myself for abbreviations, and it works perfectly for me. At one glance, and I know exactly what it is. And that's what I feel like having a planner does, is that you need to know just exactly what your planner needs to do for you. And I feel like I found really good planner piece in that, and that I know exactly what I need a planner to do for me. I need a vertical planner. That's how my brain works. I need simple, succinct reminders of things that we have going on. I don't need, 100 different things. I just need something to jog my memory. Now on Friday, I'm using a scallop sticker from Libby and Company. I love her stickers. I love the texture. I love these because they have a lot of room, but they're very, very plain. And so it's really fun to me. I like to use those a lot. And then I like to pair them with a little icon sticker as well. This one is from, I think, Kina Prints. They are little kawaii-like stickers with little faces or whatever. And so my little alarm clock has a face, and it's just adorable. It's just a fun way to make things a little bit more interesting. It's a fun little, dress it up. Same thing with my cute little coffee cup. I bring that in for the teacher when I volunteer, and it's a nice little, just a cute thing to add to Friday. My Fridays are usually fairly light in terms of scheduling, which is fantastic, right? I mean, that's what everybody wants, or at least what I want is a light Friday. And so I can add all of the things that I need for the weekend after a nice light Friday. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I like to take this stamp set from Sweet Stamp Shop. It's currently retired, but it may make a comeback, who knows? And I like to stamp this week and next week in the notes section. One of the things for me is that I will often make my abbreviation for an assignment or a blog post or something like that, and I maybe need a tiny bit more of detail, and then I don't have to go to my phone and look up the details. This way I can say, okay, I've got this blog post, I will need to do X, Y, and Z. It helps me jog my memory, a couple of words again, if it's Pinterest inspired or whatever like that. So that's what I do for this week. And the same thing is true for the next week. Often you'll have an assignment due on Monday. Well, if I wait until I turn my planner on Monday morning, I'm late. So this helps me remember, oh yeah, okay, I've got these things due next week, and then I don't forget or they're not late, that kind of thing. So that's why I like to have the this week and the next week on my planner pages. I wouldn't have to have them in the notes section. It's not entirely imperative. I have definitely put the next week in the Sunday portion, like down at the bottom. That's what I used to do in my Erin Condren in the Sunday evening section. I would put the next week, but in this one I don't have that, so I don't do that, obviously. Now, like always, I forgot to add something to my Monday because this is what always happens, and I'm searching through all of my stickers, trying to find this package of Jubilo cleaning icons that somehow are missing. I don't know. They must have grown legs and walked away. But anyway, I'm missing those, and so I'm just going to have to use one of those teeny tiny little flags from Chrissy Ann so that I can remember my cleaning thing for Monday. See, I'm frantically searching through my planner, trying to find that one sheet that's missing, the one sheet that I need, and where it could have possibly gone, which is fine. It's missing. I'll find it. But anyway, it's pretty amusing nonetheless. Now there is that quill and little ink pot for the Friday, since I have a due date to put in there. And again, I hope you don't think I'm totally crazy for thinking it's just adorable. I think it's a really cute and fun way to notate due dates and just make it a little bit more amusing while being practical too. Now these are some of my favorite stickers. These are from Hello Emma Company, and they have these really great labels then with the basketball, or in my case the baseball, on the end. And what I love about them is that they're completely colored. There's no white on there because, my planner, the pages are all white, and so to have just that whole saturated color is wonderful. I love it. And then it's got the baseball or the basketball on there too. It's just absolutely perfect. Now I am also fond of those little stickers from, I think that's Little Radish Company, and they're just super cute. Again, I love how it points to the little icon sticker. So when I pull out my basketballs and my baseballs and stuff like that, it's very adorable. Though I wouldn't have to use stickers, and I wouldn't have to use only sports. You could absolutely use different icons too, like stamps or stickers. I just happen to be using them for sports at this time, but I definitely can see that in the future I might feel like I want to use something else. So I can't imagine that it'll always just be right like that. Now I have run out of some of my Libby and Company basketballs, which is crazy. I never thought that would happen, but I did. So now I'm using some of these sweet kawaii little happy face basketballs this weekend, which is fun. It's a really good time and super cute. So I'm glad that I have them in my stash. I actually had forgotten about them because I usually just use the Libby and Company ones, but it's very fun to have these also. So as you can see, this is part of what we had talked about earlier about how I always mess up where things are supposed to go or what I write or whatever. So as you can see, I pulled that up because it was not the correct thing. and I'm going to move some things around. I don't know if I just don't think them through or if I realize later something would have been better, but it's okay. Most of these stickers move around pretty well, at least initially, so I'm able to just make them work a little bit better for me. And luckily that Hello Emma Company one came right up. I wasn't exactly sure the texture of the paper is a little bit different than what I'm used to, so I didn't know, but it came up just like that. It wasn't a problem at all. Now the top one pointing to the baseball is a Scraptastic Club little flag sticker. The bottom two, like I said, are, I think it's Little Radish Company. And those are a glossy sticker, so I have to use the permanent marker to write on those. But the Scraptastic ones are just a really nice, high quality, thick paper sticker, so I can use whatever pen I feel like using on those. Now, as you can see there, I just used one of those little teardrops, and I wanted to wait to tell you about it till I wrote on it because it is a great way to add just a little something to a particular thing. So in that case, I used it to remind myself that I need to bring snacks to the game on Saturday, and all I needed was just that teeny tiny little bit, and it's an addendum to the event. So I don't want like a big sticker because then it would start to look cluttered and crazy and whatever. I just want that tiny little bit. And that's why that particular thing is really perfect for me. That's where I use those little teardrops, is when I'm just adding something to an event or to a sticker that I already have stuck down. It's not really necessarily big enough for something on its own unless it's just a symbol or a word or something like that. But for me, it's the perfect way to add, like in this instance, oh, I need to bring snacks, okay, or who we're facing or something like that. And that's where those teardrop stickers are perfect for me in particular. Now I'm matching up the washi from the other side, like I had said, in how I use the top washi for sure, and then if I need to cover the second box as well, or if I want to, because obviously I don't have to. Now I'm going to add that journaling card right there. First of all, I love it. It's really cute. It matches, and I am using my ATG gun to put that down. But then also decoratively, I will add a little bit of washi to the top and to the bottom, but it's purely for looks because that adhesive is really super strong. It's not going anywhere. So like I said already, these journaling cards are really super thick. They're very heavy. They are very graphic and modern. I love them. They're just wonderful. They're a great addition to my planner too. I really love having those here. Now I'm going to write the things for this particular week, like I had said earlier, like I like to do, and then add those in so that I can refer back to them during the week as I write a blog post or as I get ready to do some of my to-dos. Now, unfortunately, I have to refer back to my phone, to my email, because I have forgotten one of my particular assignments, like, oh, what was the specifics of it or whatever. And actually, in my defense, it had changed several times, so I wasn't exactly sure what had been settled upon. But that is what I'm hoping to avoid in the future, is referring back to my phone several times during the week, trying to remember, oh yeah, what was it I was going to make or whatever. So that's what having this list right here in my planner, something I refer to constantly, that's what that does for me. Then I will refer back to that same stamp set where I had that this week, and I will stamp the next week. And like I said, that is probably one of the very most valuable tools that I do in my planner. It really truly helps me be on top of things. I'm not late. I know what's coming up, and It's just super, super helpful. And it wouldn't have to be for assignments or due dates or something. If it was something for, I mean, I can think of a lot of different instances for different people, how having just a tiny little glimpse into next week would be super helpful. So see, then that's all done. Now I do have left Sunday to plan, and as I have already mentioned before, Sundays are usually typically fairly light for me, which is fantastic. It's very nice because as you can see, my Saturday is pretty crazy. And so I'm just going to add that one little flag sticker with the couple of words about that appointment, and then a little baseball icon sticker from Libby and Company, which are my very favorite, and it'll be set and it'll be ready to go. So now I just have one more thing to add. I need to add a Hello Emma and Company baseball label sticker thing, a yellow one, to Saturday because I haven't added it yet, which is unfortunate. And then that's it. The whole weekend is planned. It's ready to go, and I'm super excited. So thank you so much for stopping by and taking a look at my video. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up. Helps me know that you like what I have given you or provided you, and it lets YouTube know what you like to see. Thank you so much and have a great day.